Are you tired of sounding stiff or unnatural when speaking English?
Many people try to eliminate thinking it makes them sound smarter. But what if those so-called mistakes are actually the secret to genuine, confident conversation?
Welcome to English Journey Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tom. Today we're diving deep into mastering English vocal fillers, not to remove them, but to use them strategically for natural, flowing interactions.
You're about to hear some conversations where people use fillers. Some sound natural, some sound nervous. Don't worry if it feels confusing at first. By the end, you'll know exactly how to use fillers like a native speaker.
Ready? Let's jump in.
All right, first conversation. This is between two colleagues at work. Listen to how they use fillers and notice which one sounds more natural.
Pay close attention.
So, what do you think about the new project?
Well, I think it has potential. The concept is solid, but, we need to refine the execution.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We should probably, schedule a meeting to discuss it further.
Totally. Let me check my calendar and get back to you.
Sounds good.
Okay, listeners, did you notice all those fillers?
Right. And here's the interesting part. That conversation sounded completely natural. It didn't sound nervous or unprepared. It sounded like two people thinking out loud.
Exactly. This happens in real life all the time. Native speakers use fillers constantly, and it doesn't make them sound less intelligent.
So let's break this down. First, let's talk about the myth. Many English learners think fillers are bad, that they should eliminate them completely.
But research actually shows that fillers serve an important purpose. They give your brain breathing room, time to process and formulate your next thought.
Right. When you say, you're basically telling the listener, hold on, I'm thinking, and that's okay.
It also signals engagement. When you say, you're showing that you're actively processing the conversation, not just reciting a script.
Now, let's look at the specific fillers from that conversation. We heard, AI.
Let's have a look at some examples of how native speakers use naturally.
First example, I was thinking we could maybe try that new restaurant.
Second example, so, what did you think of the movie?
Third example, the meeting is at 3 p.m., I think.
Notice how appears when the speaker is thinking or slightly uncertain. It's a natural pause filler.
The key is, don't overuse it. If every sentence has 5 uhs, it sounds nervous. But 1 or 2? Perfectly natural.
All right, let's put it together. In the dialogue, colleague 1 said, So, what do you think about the new project? That gave them a moment to gather their thoughts before asking the question.
And colleague 2 said, I think it has potential. That is a bridging phrase. It connects their thoughts and makes the conversation flow.
Exactly. The lesson? Fillers aren't mistakes. They're tools for natural conversation.
Now let's talk about something even more powerful than fillers. The strategic pause.
Oh, this is a game changer. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than words.
Let's listen to a conversation where someone uses pauses strategically. Notice the difference.
I've been thinking about your proposal, and I have to say, I'm impressed.
Really? Thank you.
The attention to detail, the research, it's exactly what we need. I want to move forward with this.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that.
Did you hear those pauses? After I have to say, and after the research?
Those weren't nervous pauses. Those were intentional. They created emphasis and anticipation.
Right. When speaker 1 said, I have to say, and then paused, the listener was waiting for what came next. That pause made the compliment more powerful.
So let's break this down. A strategic pause is different from a hesitation.
A hesitation sounds like, I don't know what to say. It sounds uncertain.
But a strategic pause sounds like, this is important, so I'm giving it space. It sounds confident.
Let's have a look at some examples of strategic pauses in action.
First example, I need to tell you something, and I hope you'll understand.
Second example, the results are in, and they exceeded all expectations.
Third example, after careful consideration, I've decided to accept the offer.
Notice how those pauses create drama and emphasis? They make the listener pay attention.
The danger here is, if you pause too long, it feels awkward. But if you pause just the right amount, it sounds powerful.
So how do you know when to pause? It's all about rhythm.
Right. Conversation has a natural ebb and flow. You speed up when you're excited, you slow down when you're making a point, and you pause when you want emphasis.
Let's put it together. In the dialogue, speaker one said, I have to say, I'm impressed. That pause after I have to say created anticipation. The listener was on the edge of their seat.
And it made the compliment feel more genuine, more thoughtful, not rushed.
All right, quick personal story before we continue. I once gave a presentation, and I was so nervous about using fillers that I spoke without any pauses at all.
Oh no. How did it go?
Terrible. People said I sounded like a robot. My boss even pulled me aside after and said, you can breathe, you know.
That's the thing. When you try too hard to be perfect, you actually sound less natural.
Exactly. So I started incorporating fillers and pauses intentionally. And you know what? My next presentation got rave reviews.
Because you sounded human. You sounded authentic.
All right, now let's talk about bridging phrases. These are the words that connect your ideas and keep the conversation flowing.
Right. We're talking about phrases like you know, like, I mean, and so.
Let's listen to a conversation that uses these naturally.
So I was thinking, maybe we should, plan a road trip this summer.
Well, that sounds fun. I mean, where would we go?
I don't know, maybe the coast? We could hit a few beaches, explore some small towns.
I love that idea. We haven't done anything spontaneous in forever.
Exactly. So let's start planning.
Okay. Did you catch all those bridging phrases? So,
And notice how they made the conversation sound casual and friendly? Without them, it would sound stiff.
Right. Imagine if they said, I was thinking we should plan a road trip. Where would we go? The coast. We could explore small towns.
That sounds like a robot, not a friend.
So let's break down these bridging phrases. First, you know. This phrase signals that you're about to explain or clarify something.
Let's have a look at some examples of, used naturally.
First example, I think we should leave early, to avoid traffic.
Second example, she's really talented. Like a natural.
Third example, I'm not sure about this, you know what I mean?
Notice how you know invites the listener to understand or agree. It creates connection.
The danger is, if you overuse it, it sounds like you're seeking validation, but used sparingly, it's perfect.
Next, let's talk about like. This is probably the most controversial filler.
Right. Some people hate it. They think it makes you sound young or uneducated. But the truth is, native speakers use it all the time.
Let's have a look at some examples of used as a filler.
First example, it was the best concert I've ever been to.
Second example, I was totally surprised.
Third example, we should definitely hang out soon.
Notice how softens the statement? It makes it sound less formal, more casual.
The key is context. In a casual conversation with friends, is fine. In a job interview or formal presentation, maybe skip it.
And finally, I mean. This phrase is used to clarify or rephrase something.
Let's have a look at some examples.
First example, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Second example, it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Third example, I like her, she's a good friend.
See how, helps you adjust or refine what you just said? It's like a course correction.
Exactly. And it sounds much more natural than stopping and starting over.
Let's put it together. In the dialogue, friend one said, so I was thinking, maybe we should, plan a road trip. That made the suggestion sound casual and open, not pushy.
And when friend 2 said, where would we go? They were clarifying their excitement and moving the conversation forward.
The lesson? Bridging phrases aren't crutches. They're connectors. They keep the conversation flowing naturally.
All right, now let's talk about confident delivery. Because here's the secret. Sounding natural is more important than sounding perfect.
Right. A slightly imperfect delivery can actually make you sound more authentic.
Think about it. When was the last time you heard someone speak without any fillers or pauses? It sounds rehearsed. It sounds fake.
So how do you know the difference between an authentic pause and a nervous hesitation?
Great question. An authentic pause is controlled. You pause because you want to, not because you have to.
A nervous hesitation is uncontrolled. You're pausing because you're panicking or lost.
So the key is practice with purpose. Don't eliminate fillers completely. Just use them intentionally.
All right, let's get practical. How do you actually improve your filler usage?
First, active listening drills. Listen to native speakers and notice how they use fillers. Watch TV shows, podcasts, interviews.
Pay attention to when they say, when they pause, when they use you know or like.
Next, role-playing scenarios. Practice conversations with a friend or language partner. Intentionally incorporate fillers and pauses.
And finally, self-assessment. Record yourself speaking, then listen back and analyze. Are you using too many fillers? Too few? Are your pauses effective?
The goal isn't perfection. The goal is natural, confident communication.
All right, let's do some rapid drills. I'll give you a situation and you think about which filler or pause to use. Ready?
Let's go.
You need a moment to think before answering a question. What do you say?
Or Short and natural.
You want to clarify or rephrase what you just said. What phrase do you use?
It helps you course correct.
You're making an important point and want it to land. What do you do?
Use a strategic pause. Let the silence create emphasis.
You're in a casual conversation and want to soften a suggestion. What filler works?
Like. It makes the tone more friendly and relaxed.
Perfect. Now you're ready to speak like a native.
All right, listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you ever tried to eliminate all fillers from your speech? How did it go?
Or maybe you noticed a native speaker using fillers in a way that surprised you. Share your story in the comments.
And if this episode changed how you think about fillers, hit that like button.
Share it with someone who's learning English, or anyone who's ever been told they say, too much, which is basically everyone.
And subscribe for more real-life English lessons. We post new episodes every week.
Remember, fluency isn't about eliminating every imperfection. It's about sounding authentic, confident, and human.
So embrace the, master the pause, and use those bridging phrases like a pro. You've got this.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep pausing, and keep being beautifully imperfect.